In chess, the end game is probably the most important thing that we're aiming towards. Checkmate, right? So, while in rhythm we don't have a checkmate, but we can certainly think about having an end game. So, what's the end game when it comes to rhythm? Like we talked about last week, planning. This week, in episode 24, we are going to talk about how to think in terms of where we want to get, the end game. So, welcome everyone, and here's Rhythm for All, another episode. I'm Anirudh Venkatesh, and let's begin. So, what's the end game when I have, let's say, a bunch of containers organized in the form of a tal, right? A time cycle. What would be the end game when it came to that time cycle? So I could put phrases in that time cycle. Let's say I had a simple phrase like takadimi, right? Our usual go-to phrase. So what can I do with takadimi? So if I have a 4-beat time cycle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then I could say ta, ka, di, mi. Ta, ka, di, mi. Yeah, that's one way to go about it. I'm just putting takadimis into this time cycle and sort of going with it. And yes, I could improvise something and it would lead to something else and so on. But what if I had a more definite goal in mind? And what if I started out really small? So when I say really small, I mean one phrase, just one phrase, and I have one time cycle, suppose, just one cycle. That's it, right? And I say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, right? So what can I put in here? Let's say I have a phrase like we did last time, takadimi tam. Okay, so how can I put takadimi tam in such a way that on that final clap I get the tam? So we talked about this last week. We One way to do it is think of the time cycle in reverse. So where I would say, okay, this is the final clap, before that comes this, before that this, before that this, and before that this. So where do I start the takadimi in such a way that on takadimi tam, the final tam comes on the final clap. So I think of the phrase in reverse. So I think, okay, tam, mi, di, ka, ta. And yeah, we've sort of reverse engineered where we need to start. That's one way to do it, and you can get pretty good at that and do it pretty fast, not that slowly. Another way is, for the moment, forget about the time cycle itself. Just think of each of these counts as just a clap. Each of them is a clap. So we're not concerned with how long a cycle is, we're just concerned with the general tempo. Okay? Now, I want to put takadimi tam in such a way that tam comes on the clap, right? And let's say I have a faster takadimi. So it's not just going ta, ka, di. It's not going at that speed. It's going at takadimi tam. Okay? So one way to go about it is first try to figure out, when I say takadimi, what speed am I going at? So takadimi. So takadimi fits within one container, one clap. So that means that I can just try starting on a clap for one. Takadimi tam. Okay, that works. So I have takadimi tam. I start on a clap and somehow magically the tam comes on another clap. So now we go back to the tal, okay, and we think, okay, so the takadimi took one clap and the tam came immediately after that, which means we can start just before the final clap. So I go 1, 2, 3, takadimi tam, right? And there's my end game. This is what we're trying to do. This is where we're trying to go with this. I have a particular goal in mind, and I'm going to try to reach that goal using whatever phrases I have. So let's do a different phrase to give you an idea of how this can really branch out. Let's make it an even simpler phrase. Taketa tam. Okay? So now it's going to change a little. Why? Because let's say we go back to our system of just clapping, and for just trial and error, I'm just going to start on a clap. So let's see where that gets us. Taketa tam. Oh, well, the tam didn't come in a clap. Taketa tam. No, it's not happening. So where do I start the ta of the taketa in such a way that the tam comes in a clap, right? This is where we begin to think more deeply about the end game. So the framework we can use is to think that, okay, when I say taketa, what speed are the syllables going at? So it's the same speed as before actually. It is 4 syllables per container. So given that, that means in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going at that speed and we're saying takita and then we're saying a tam. Okay? So we have 4 possible places we can start, right? So we have the 1, which we already tried, it didn't work out. We have the 1, 2, we can start on the 2. We have the 1, 2, 3, we can start on the 3. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, we can start on the 4. These are our 4 options to begin a phrase for now. So, well, I know what the answer is, but let's go over all the options that don't work first. So let's start on a 4. Okay, let's go in reverse. So that would basically be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Takita tam. No, tam didn't come in a clap, right? Let me show you that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Takita tam. You see, I'm saying 1, 2, 3, takita. So I'm starting on a 4. That's not working out. Let's start on a 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Takita tam. No, tam came after the clap. Still not working. But I'll show it to you again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, takita tam. No, that doesn't work. Okay, and now, well, you probably guessed it that it starts on 2. So, this is how it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, takita tam. Well, that worked out perfectly. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, takita tam. Okay? So, this is endgame thinking, right? Let's do it for one more phrase. Okay, simple. Tadigina to tam. Okay, so it's just tadigina to, so that's 5, and tam. Okay. So, let's try. We're just going to start trying on the clap for now because we don't know any better. Or maybe we do. Let's see. So, tadigina to tam. No, tam didn't come in a clap. Let's try it on. We're going at the same speed if you notice. Tadigina to is at the speed of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tadigina. You see, it's perfectly aligned with those 1, 2, 3, 4s. Okay, let's try it on 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Sorry, wrong phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Tadigina to tam. No, doesn't work. Let's try it on 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Tadigina to tam. No, doesn't work again. And let's try it on 4. Well, this better work because we've run out of options. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Tadigina to tam. That worked. Let's do it again. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 tadi kena to tam. And that works. Okay, now let's go back to the tal and let's see how this is going to fit in the framework of the tal. So we again use, if you don't want to count, it's fine. You just have to use a little more trial and error to get there. So we have a 4 container tal, right? So now we know that we have to start on the 4 within one of these containers, right? 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. One of those 4s is going to be the 4 that we need to start on. Which 4 it is, let's again try it, trial and error. So although yes, it is much simpler to count, but just for the sake of, if you don't want to count it all, just want to feel the time as it goes and get to the right one, let's try that too. So 1 2 3 4, right? I'm going to start on that 4 first. 1 2 3 tadi gena to tam. Clearly this is too early. Okay, let's try it on the next one. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 tadi gena to tam. No, still not there. But now because I know I'm ending on this one, I know I just need to take it one forward. So I'm pretty sure the next one is going to work. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 tadi gena to tam. And there we go. One more time. 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 tadi gena to tam. And there you have it. So that is how, without counting too much, but just trying to feel the rhythm, trying to feel the time, maybe a little bit of counting, but not too much. That is how you can get where you want to get in a planned way, but in a more intuitive way than maybe we did it last time. Last time was a little more counting, a little more mathematical. This has more of a focus on just feeling the time, feeling the tal, and knowing where within the container to start. So I don't even need to count the 1 2 3 4. It's actually a feeling, the point where I start. So it's right. If I can just feel this, and if I can feel the subdivisions within, then tadi gena to tam. It just works out. How do I do that? I feel according to this tempo when to start. So it's not about counting, it's about knowing that instant of time that feels a particular way. So the 1 2 3 and 4 each have a particular character to them. So if we can learn to identify that character, if we can recognize that, we will know without specifically saying 1 2 3 or 4, we would know exactly where we are within the tal. And that's a major skill to develop actually. So I hope you have fun with this. Try this out, make up your own phrases, and for now you can just make a simple phrase ending with tam and try to end the tam on the clap. See where that gets you. I hope you have fun with it, and that's it for this time. I will see you next week right here. It's episode 25. Wow, I'll be the 25th week of doing this. Okay, that's nice. All right then, see you. Have a great week.